Hello everyone and welcome to Business Africa. This week we're taking a closer look at African Airlines. South African Airways suffer heavy financial losses as the ramifications of the COVID-19 pandemic hits hard. Rwanda Air also employs drastic measures including reduction of the salaries of employees as the company battles COVID-19. Ethiopian Airlines has also increased its cargo services to make up for its current financial losses. Welcome again to the program. The South African airline, which has been denied further funding from the government to support its operations, has suspended all international flights until May 31st as the country battles COVID-19. Authorities say the company is facing serious financial crisis and fear closure. Erika Josia and Michael Odio have more.
South African Airways has announced that it will immediately suspend all international operations until 31st May 2020 in response to a government travel ban aimed at stopping the transmission of the COVID-19. The flag carrier of South Africa was already struggling with its finances before the global health crisis rocked the aviation industry. However, domestic and international flight restrictions forced the operator to suspend all of its commercial services. Subsequently, last week, news broke that the company will lay off all of its staff at the end of April. It confirmed that staff members will receive 1 month's salary for each year they have worked with the firm. Additionally, employees will receive payment for annual leave that has not been used, along with further months' pay instead of notice pay. The airline has not made a profit for the last 9 years. Additionally, it has received $1.1 billion in bailout in the past 3 years. There has been a mixed reaction in South Africa, with many members of the government and public feeling that the continued funding of the carrier is a waste of money.
Well, let's explore the issue much further, and a civil aviation analyst from Kampala, Michael Wakabi, joins us now with some analysis on this particular issue. Good to have you on the program, sir. The continent's second largest airline is in deep financial crisis, coupled with the ramifications of COVID-19. What's your take on this?
On the first question, I think South African Airways needs to rationalize its costs, and the labor unions appear to hold the key to that. If you look at key metrics like the number of workers per aircraft, I think SAA is way overburdened compared to its peers. You're talking about twice the number of workers per aircraft. At SAA, you'd find that a comparable airline elsewhere. Unfortunately, the unions have not been proactive enough in this crisis. They are taking the single-minded view that jobs should be saved, but where SAA has reached, jobs cannot be saved without saving the enterprise, and trimming the labor force is an absolute necessity.
How about the impact this could have on travelers?
Of course, given the level of SAA's network in Southern Africa is quite a big connector. So, barring the current slowdown as a result of the impacts of COVID-19, you are going to see widespread disruption. And unfortunately, SAA was a dominant carrier in the Southern African region. So it's not that there will be other carriers that can easily fill the gap created by its departure.
So what lessons do you think that African aviation sector can draw from this crisis?
I think this is a very important lesson, especially for government-owned airlines in Africa. There is this view in many countries that airlines can absorb anything, so they are overloaded with unnecessary burdens. Politicians want their relatives and friends employed there. It's also wrongly assumed that it is a very profitable business. So you find that, lots of taxes are imposed on the industry, and this bogs them down. Most politicians or governments forget that airlines in Africa operate in a uniquely very high cost environment. Some factors, costs like fuel, for instance, costs as much as 30% more in Africa than elsewhere in the world. And margins are quite thin. I think this should be an opportunity for governments to look at the way publicly owned airlines should be managed, the concessions that should be made to the industry, selection of management, and giving management the independence to make the decisions that they need to make in the interests of the business.
Thank you very much for your time. That was Michael Wakabi, civil aviation analyst, joining us from the Ugandan capital, Kampala. After the break, we will explore some measures taken by Rwanda Air in a bid to save the company from collapse.